What's up guys, it's Alex from Maximum Charge, and this is the newest offering from Engwe, the upgraded 52 volt version of their very popular Engine Pro model. And even though this is a budget-oriented e-bike, it comes with a lot of features like hydraulic disc brakes, dual suspension, a pretty good size 16 amp hour battery, and some of you guys are really gonna like this, it even comes with a torque sensor. And most importantly, this 52 volt version has way more torque than the older 48 volt version, which means you're gonna get more acceleration and more hill climbing ability from the motor in the back. And if you guys do want to check out this bike, it is listed in the description below, along with any other coupon codes or discounts that are available. So today, as always, we're going to check out the specs and components of the newest Engwe Engine Pro, and then we're going to take it out for a test ride. Let's jump right in. All right, guys, let's take a look at the specs and components of the Engwe Engine Pro 2.0. This is their 52 volt model. Let's take a look. Let's start at the top. Rubber ergonomic locking grips from both sides, thumb throttle, and here's our horn button under the throttle, control panel, hydraulic disc brake levers, bright and minimalist display, 8-speed Shimano trigger shifter, adjustable height stem, and here's the latch for the folding mechanism on the stem. Moving on down, here's our cable management, basic lockout on the fork, along with our basic preload adjustment, decently bright front headlight with a reflector underneath, painted metal fenders, and here we have our 160 millimeter rotors with hydraulic disc brakes that you get on the front and the back. Moving on back to take a look at the frame, we've got our nice Engwe logo, and this paint job is pretty interesting. This bike comes in green, but it also does come in other colors on their website. Charge port, folding mechanism. This is the key for the battery, and you have to keep this key in the bike for the bike to work. Here's our rear suspension. This part of the frame is very nice because it almost acts like a handle, so you can easily carry this bike around, especially when it's folded. Medium width squishy seat, foldable pedals. And here's our fairly robust looking rear rack that does say it holds 25 kilograms. Front and rear 20 by 4 inch knobby Chow Yang tires with the nice looking mag wheels, brake light in the back, which does become brighter if it's on and you press the brakes. 8-speed Shimano transmission with a Shimano Altus derailleur, nice derailleur guard, and a medium-sized chainring in the back with 2 chain guards. To remove this battery, you twist the key underneath the bike, and that's gonna go ahead and unlock this part right there. And then you take your key out and pull the battery out. And there's the Engwe branded 52 volt 16 amp hour battery. And with that battery, you get a passively cooled 3 amp charger. Controller sits in here. Let's take a look at it. Looks like we've got a 22 amp controller, which means this motor peaks at 1,144 watts. So to turn this bike on, you hold this bottom button down right here. To turn the headlight on, you just press this side button once. And to cycle through the different modes of the display, you press this top side button right here, which shows your trip, odometer, max speed, and average speed. And of course the battery bar up top. To get into the advanced settings, you hold the plus and minus buttons down, and we have our P settings that you can cycle through. P1, screen brightness. P2, mile an hour or kilometer an hour adjustment. P4 is your screen timeout time, so it's set to 10 minutes. P5 is where you can adjust how many pedal assist levels you can get, so we can set it to 1 to 5, 0 to 7, 1 to 7, 0 to 9, or you can keep it simple. You can go all the way down to 1 to 3, 0 to 3, so fully customizable for the pedal assist level amount. Very nice. Let's leave it at 0 to 5. P6, wheel diameter, we kept it at 23, seems fairly accurate. Now skipping up to P8, this is your speed limiter, and obviously I have it set to all the way up, which goes all the way up to 62 miles an hour. And it won't give me any more speed than that. If you guys know a better way to unlock this bike to get the full speed and not have it be locked out at 20 miles an hour throttle, 28 miles an hour pedal assist, let me know in the comments below. And we're not gonna mess around with any of the other settings. And to exit the settings, you hold down the side button right here. And this bike also comes with a basic walk mode where you hold the minus button down and the wheel will turn at a slow 4 miles an hour. And guys, here's what I look like on this bike at 5'10". This bike does have a torque sensor, so you're gonna wanna lift the seat up so you get extension at the hip and on the knees so you can actually use your legs more efficiently to power this bike. But at the seat's lowest position, I can easily put my feet on the ground. And when you do lift the seat up, you are gonna also wanna lift the adjustable handlebar as well. Front suspension is pretty good. Not a lot of travel, but it does work. Rear suspension's pretty good as well. It does work. And guys, let's take a look at the website for the newest Engwe Engine Pro 2.0. Currently it's listed at $12.99, although I do have discount codes and coupon codes in the description below. Make sure you guys check those out. This bike does come in this black color. It's got a blue color and a green color as well that you guys see in the video. Let's check out the specs. All right, so here we are. Peak 1200 watts, closer to 1150, but whatever. 75 Newton meters of torque. Advertised max mileage 30 miles in throttle only and 68 miles for pedal assist. And the bike weight is about 88 pounds. Max payload 330 pounds. Recommended rider height 5'4" to 6'2". And guys, here are some measurements of this particular e-bike. Feel free to pause it at this point in the video if you want to get a better look at these numbers. And guys, obviously this bike is foldable, so it is easy to store in a car or in a closet or maybe even in an RV. So those are the specs and components of the new Engwe Engine Pro 2.0. Next, we're going to take it out for a test ride. Let's jump right in.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we are on Engwe's newest offering, the Engine Pro 2.0, 52 volts. It seems like Engwe is switching over to all 52 volt systems. Very smart of them. I think all of us are kind of bored of the 48 volt, 750 watt nominal systems that are literally everywhere. And so it seems like Engwe made the smart decision and is switching over to 52 volts. So first, while we have a completely fully fresh battery charge, we're gonna go ahead and do a quick 0 to 20 test. We'll start right over here because this looks mostly flat. And then we'll do our main hill climb test. This is going to be a throttle only test while we have a completely fresh charge on the battery. Without further ado, 0 to 20, throttle only, 3, 2, 1, boom. And it cuts us off at 20, by the way. I did try and unlock this bike, and it seemed like it did nothing. Now we're going to head over to our main hill climb test and see what time we get there. And just for your reference, the temperature outside is between 45 and 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I am 200 pounds, and I do not have a big backpack full of gear, so usually I'm about 15 pounds heavier. But right now, all right, ladies and gentlemen, bring the pedal assist all the way up. I don't know if that'll make a difference. I don't even know if we'll get to 20 miles an hour while we're going up this hill, because that's all the throttle will give us. So here we go. Without further ado, 3, 2, 1, go. Pretty good power. Look at that. Hold in 17. All right, there we go. Looks like we're crossing the finish line right before, there we go. The throttle cut me off. All right. So downhill speed, it cuts me off at 28. I get nothing else. I can pedal right now, but I'm not getting any more speed past 28 miles an hour. So if you're looking for a bike to go fast, this isn't it. However, if you're interested in getting something that is legal, I guess this would be considered class 3, this might be an option. Try and drop off this curb. Not bad, not bad. Let's hit this curb. All right. This bike is dual suspension, so it does help smooth out a lot of bumps, and it does have narrow handlebars, so I can easily squeeze right through there. Again, this is a foldable format bike. All right. And as always, we're going to start off at the end of this line right here. Throttle only. Steep hill climb test. Here we go. See if it can do it. All right. Pretty good. It's making it, guys. The power of 52 volts. That's the power of 52 volts, guys. Usually these controllers, they remain the same in terms of amps. But if you give the system more volts, that'll give you more wattage, more power, because watts is volts times amps. So you get a little bit more power. It honestly feels like this has pretty much the same amount of power as their L20 2.0. I think they probably use the same controller. I could be wrong, but that's what it feels like. And it is a little bit chilly. Let's go ahead and turn on our Savior heated gloves, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure we're nice and toasty. Link in the description. Here we go. This bike does have hydraulic disc brakes. Feels fine. The rear wheel did lift up a tiny bit, which means the front brakes are very strong. Turning feels nice and nimble, of course, as it should with this smaller form factor bike. 20 by 4 inch size wheels, nice and zippy. Brake test, here we go. Oh, really turned a little bit on there. That's okay, but the brakes work well, guys. Like I mentioned, I did try to unlock this bike. The speed limiter was actually already all the way up. I went into the settings, and it was as high as it can go. So let's check the pedaling on this. Let's get to speed. Power is good, acceleration's good. This thing has pretty good power, but once you hit 28, it gives you nothing. So you can pedal. Whatever you can add after 28 miles an hour is as fast as you're gonna get. See that? It just cuts me off. Once the speedometer gets to 28, that's it. And guys, I'm sure you already know, this bike has a torque sensor. A lot of people like their torque sensors. And what torque sensors are good for is getting more efficiency from your e-bike. So right now I'm pedaling slowly. Pedal assist 1. I'm only getting a little tiny bit of power, but if I pedal harder, the motor kicks on and it gives me more power. Not too much though. And that is amplified by the higher pedal assist level. So right now I'm pedaling slowly again. But if I put in some force, now it really takes off. Now it gives me a ton of power. I can get this thing up to 28. And so I do appreciate that. For those who really like their torque sensors, great job on Engwe's part for introducing that. I think this is a great option for a torque sensor because it's not a very high-powered bike. You're going to be using your legs a lot, and in this case, you'll probably get more efficient use out of your legs if you are pedaling, which you will be for this bike. So because of that, you guys might get a little bit more range out of a torque sensor bike versus a cadence sensor bike because it uses your legs more efficiently. Oh, I'm going to say hi to my friend over here. He's used to me now. He doesn't care. Normally he runs around everywhere. This bike it's still legal, which is nice. It gives you more low-end power for getting through those hills, but it still keeps it in the legal range, which is good with all the recent talks about regulations coming through. Display is bright and visible, although it does not tell me my wattage or voltage. It is what it is. At least I can clearly see it. And if you guys do like exercise, you will also get that from this bike. Bikes with torque sensors kind of force you to work a little bit harder with your legs, at least after 20 miles an hour. So if you guys want some exercise, this might be a good option for you as well. Oh, we got to do something. We have to do this, guys. This is very important. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Let's bring this all the way up. Oh, yeah. Now we got ape hangers, guys. I feel ridiculous and awesome at the same time. Guys, I'm gonna get so many girls on this e-bike now. When the handlebar was down here, I would have gotten 0 girls. Now, look at that. Look at that height. They're just gonna see these handlebars, and that's it. That's all it takes. Oh man, I'm the coolest kid in this neighborhood. Oh, wheel comes up easy now. Suspension handles the bumps fairly well. It's nothing to write home about, but it will smooth things out quite a bit compared to its hardtail counterparts. All right, let's bring this down. I'm sure this phone is like in the way of the camera right now. You guys can't see the road at all. Bring this back down. See, not gonna get any girls now. Damn. Torque sensor cuts me off. Yeah, right at 28. That's it. That's all she wrote, folks. Seat comfort is pretty good. Decently wide, squishy seat. No complaints. Again, guys, this is a kind of an entry-level bike. And for an entry-level bike, I think it's pretty good value. Link in the description below if you guys want to check out this bike. Any discounts or coupon codes that I can offer you will be listed there as well. Let's check out the throttle-only hill climbing power. Yeah, this is great. This has a good amount of power, guys. Look at that. Just flying up at 20 miles an hour. No problem. I'm so happy companies are switching over to higher voltage systems. And this bike is easy to get on and off. Pretty low seat position. Small form factor. You can raise the seat, of course, and make your legs more effective because after all, this is a torque sensing bike. Now the handlebars are too low. Now we can raise the handlebars right in the middle. All right, now I can fully extend my legs and I can feel my legs really delivering way more power into this bike. I feel like I could just keep it on 8th gear the whole time. This bike does have 8 gears. Shifts fantastic. I do appreciate that the thumb throttle is on the left and the trigger shifter is on the right. Some people put twist throttles with a trigger shifter and it just gets in the way. Yeah, I'm really using my legs at this point, but I'm getting a good amount of power from them because I can fully extend my legs. Center of gravity now is higher though. I feel like I'm just overall higher up. No power after 28. What are you gonna do? Let's try out some more of these bumps. Easy. No problems, guys. Rear suspension does help a lot with seat comfort because if it wasn't for that suspension, your butt cheeks would do the shock absorption. So thankfully, rear suspension, it does make the seat a little bit more tolerable. Whatever kind of seat is on an e-bike, this bike feels like it just has more than it's giving me. I understand you want to keep it in the legal range, but I really wish I could just unlock it. You guys let me know in the comments below if I'm missing some kind of setting, but I couldn't find it. I do feel like this bike would be better if you actually were able to unlock it. It would be able to have a top speed of maybe like 33, probably 32, but this thing feels so maneuverable and zippy with its lightweight frame. Let's hit this bump right here. Not bad, not bad. Not the greatest.
Not great, not terrible.
But it's there. It's way better than a hardtail, that's for sure. All right, guys, so this is a long, moderately steep hill. We're just gonna throttle up the whole way, see how it does. Wonder if the controller will overheat. Pretty big hill. All right, looks like we're holding 14, 13. Gets a little steeper here. Oh boy. Okay. I think we're past the steepest part. I like these handlebar grips. The ergonomic style, you can just rest your whole palm on it and it does feel nice and cushy and comfortable. The fenders, amazingly, on this bike are on the quieter side. Typically, the metal fenders that you get in e-bikes are loud because you hear them rattling around a bit. If you drive over some kind of rocks or stones or pebbles, they'll clang up against the fenders. But right now, these are doing pretty good. Haven't really heard them at all. And we'll just coast on downhill. Bed the brakes in a bit. Yeah, I like the feeling of this bike. Feels pretty solid. Feels pretty good. honestly, no complaints for a budget-oriented e-bike. So my final thoughts on this Engwe Engine Pro 2.0. For a budget-oriented e-bike that keeps it legal within the 3-class system, this is a Class 3 e-bike, this is a fantastic option. But it also has a good amount of power for climbing hills. A lot of the 48-volt e-bikes out there, they just cannot do it. The 48-volt version of this Engine Pro could not do my steep hill climb at all, and this one can. 8 speeds, feels great. That extra gearing I think is fantastic with a torque sensor, because if you're someone who likes pedaling, you'll appreciate more gears, and obviously you'll appreciate the torque sensor. You'll get a little bit more exercise, probably a little bit more range out of this bike if you use a lot of your own leg power. Although I really do wish that you could truly unlock this bike and get to a higher top speed. The rear suspension does add quite a bit of comfort to the seat and to the overall riding experience, and so I do appreciate that. It feels like it has a pretty good amount of travel. I can feel it moving, which is nice. And let's bring it down to a lower gear. Yeah, I could pedal up this so easily, or throttle. Again, guys, the hill climb power on this is fantastic. Ergonomic handlebar grips are nice, and the hydraulic disc brakes, they work fantastic. If I want to get up to speed quick, I can with that power, and I can stop relatively easy as well. Front suspension, good amount of travel. This bike, I feel like it gives you everything you need, especially for someone who likes to pedal. And like I said, keep it in the legal realm of the class system. And on top of all that, the foldable format makes it very compact, easy to transport here and there, easy to store in a small closet, and it is on the lighter side as well. And it seems like Engwe is switching over to 52 volts, thankfully. And it's about time, because we've seen these 48 volt e-bikes everywhere for years. And it's the same thing over and over again, and now we're getting a little bit more power, finally. Hey, look at this. This thing just feels so zippy. Nice and maneuverable. I can zip around tight areas easily with this tiny little bike. Compact and nimble, like a ninja. I'm going to keep riding this bike around a little bit and make sure we get it to 10 miles. Put it on the voltmeter. See where we are. And after a 10-mile ride, our battery voltage is 54.16. I am doing a good amount of pedaling, more so than usual throughout this ride. This bike kind of forces you to pedal more than usual. And so I think our voltage is going to look pretty good for our little mini range test. That's it for today, folks. Let me know what you think about the Engwe Engine Pro 2.0. Let me know in the comments if you like this bike. What do you think of the torque sensor? What do you think of Engwe going to 52 volts? If you guys like videos like this, please feel free to subscribe to the channel if I've earned your subscription. Like the video if you like it, and if you don't, tell me why in the comments. You guys can also follow me on social media. I am on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and I have 2 Facebook groups, E-Bike Addicts and High Speed E-Bikes, 40 miles an hour plus. We have a lot of fun over there. Link to this bike in the description below. If there's any coupon codes or discounts available, they will be listed down there as well. That's it for today, guys. Until next time.